Fire has been burning here since 1950s. I don't know at what speed he was driving. I haven't seen anything like this ever before. Shri Ganpataye Namaha and Shri Ramji, our very own Ganpati Bappa. Good morning and welcome to a new vlog from Azerbaijan, and we have come down to have breakfast at our hotel. Breakfast spread here has been great, lot of decent food options even if you are a vegetarian. So for example, I have taken this vegetable omelette, fruits, some yogurt, pancakes, different kinds of breads, lot of fresh fruits, lot of dry fruits, cheeses, butters, so a lot of good options. So now we are going to finish our breakfast and start our new day trip in Azerbaijan.
We are out again in Baku. We are going towards Gobustan first, and then we'll visit the fire temple. We are again being driven by Orhan, so this is our second day with him. We'll share his contact details in the description, and he can show you everywhere around Azerbaijan.
We are at the Gobustan mud volcanoes. This place actually looks like a post-apocalyptic world, and there are these small mud volcanoes spread out across this entire region, and they're not actually volcanoes. They got their names because they resemble the lava erupting volcanoes, and these eruptions that you see, these small ones, they are actually because of the methane and carbon dioxide gases bubbling under the earth's surface, and they're actually safe to touch. They are cold, they're not hot, so you can touch them. A lot of people get their bottles and fill it because this mud is supposed to have like therapeutic and medical properties, especially for your skin. But it's very interesting to see them bubbling away here. And actually, more than half of the world's mud volcanoes are found in Azerbaijan, and most of them are located here in Gobustan. And they're actually making a sound like kupud kupud, some weird sound that they are making. You can actually get up close to them, touch them. There's one place where you can actually go and swim with them as well. it took us like 45 minutes to reach the Gobustan National Park from Baku. You'll have to take an ancient car, which some people say it's like the Soviet era type of cars, or you can even go in an XUV because it's like proper off-roading of like 15 minutes one way to reach the mud volcanoes. Like there are no roads, of course, and even if you are driving, I don't know if you can drive on your own till there because there's no like proper pathway built, and I doubt if in Google Maps you'll be able to know which is the correct path. Proper off-roading, lot of dust everywhere. All we could see was the barren mountains and the dust sand dunes. I don't know at what speed he was driving. It definitely seemed like 80-90 km per hour, and it was just like a lot of like jerks, but interesting, very interesting and adventurous ride till the mud volcanoes. And once you reach the mud volcanoes, it'll give you some time to just walk around and see the bubbling mud volcanoes. It seemed very different from everything that we have seen so far. I haven't seen anything like this ever before. There was something similar in New Zealand when we had gone to Rotorua, but this kind of landscape was definitely something that we have seen for the first time. And once you are done, then you get back in the same car, and then they'll bring you back to the point where your car and your driver is waiting. You can go to the Gobustan National Park as well, where they have petroglyphs. So petroglyphs are basically drawings that were made in the ancient times, and here they have like more than 3,000 drawings carved on the rocks. To take the car to the mud volcanoes, we paid 30 manat for the both of us. We are at Yanardag, which is the fire mountain or the blazing mountain of Azerbaijan, as you can see behind me. So apparently this fire has been burning here since 1950s, and right now it's summer, but even when you come here during winters when it's snowfall or if it's raining during monsoon season, this fire continues to burn. And the reason is because of the large presence of the hydrocarbon gases in this area, and that's why, like you would already know, Azerbaijan is called the land of fire, because there's everywhere a lot of petroleum and hydrocarbon gases. And there's a theory or a legend that says that in 1950s there was a shepherd who accidentally threw a matchstick in this region which had a large presence of these gases, and since then this fire has been burning here. If you come close to the fire, you will see there are a lot of coins that are thrown here. People have thrown coins here after making a wish, so in case if you want to do that and try your luck, then you could try that as well. But yeah, it's very hot, especially because it's as it is, it's hot, and when you go close to the fire, it's like super hot. Dag means mountain, similar to how we had Shadag. Today we are at Yanardag. You can walk a few more steps and see the landscape around this area, which is very rugged again. And it took us like 40 minutes, I think, from the Gobustan mud volcanoes to reach here. And we paid an entrance fee of 9 manat per person. In case if you want to buy a combined ticket for the Yanardag mountains and the fire temple, then you can pay 15 manat for one person, and you can pay either by cash or card over here. It's actually located on this peninsula called Ateshgah Peninsula, the blazing fire mountain. The only thing that you'll see here is the fire, and because of its mythical existence, it's a popular destination here. So you just need like 10-15 minutes to spend here. can also visit a small museum which is located right at the entrance. In case if you are interested in reading up about history, then they have some interesting information about the history of Yanardag and also the Ateshgah or the fire worshippers temple, and how in Azerbaijan Zoroastrianism was one of the earliest religion and how people used to worship fire. They have also kept ancient stones in there in case if you are interested to see that kind of stuff. It's a small museum, not like your regular big museums. You can spend like 5 to 7 minutes in the museum as well once you're done seeing the fire. So we are at the final destination of our Azerbaijan trip, which is the Ateshgah fire worshipper temple, and this is very close to the airport, and over here also the entrance fees is 9 manat for one person. So we weren't very sure if we'll have the time or not to come here. That's why we had to like purchase separate tickets. But in case if you're going to visit both the fire mountain and the fire temple, then you can just purchase the combo ticket for 15 manat. There's a very interesting history about this temple. The influence of the Indian tradition and Indian traders as well in building a few parts of this temple. So we're going to go inside and see the fire worshipper temple. Right at the entrance there's an inscription, and we can see letters that are familiar to us. So the first Indian influence over here. There is this central altar or the central temple, and interestingly this central temple was built by a Hindu trader by the name of Kanchanagara. And then surrounding this temple there are these small cells. So there are 24 cells built in here, and there's also a resting place somewhere. So when you come here, make sure that you visit all the cells that are open for you to visit, because inside every cell they have given such interesting information, historical information. And before you enter the cells, just look at the top of the entrance. So at the top of the entrance there is an inscription which is either in Persian or an Indian language. Like on top of that particular cell, we saw a Sanskrit shloka, so Shri Ganpataya Namah, Shri Ramji, and all of that was written on top of that cell. On top of another cell we saw a Punjabi inscription, and inside one of the cells there is actually a statue of Ganpati ji, and then in another cell there you can actually hear the chanting of Shri Gan Ganpataya Namaha, Om Gan Ganpataya Namaha. So it's very it feels very good to see Indian religion being preserved here as well in Azerbaijan. And this temple was built in the 18th century, and like I told you, Indian traders also had a very important role to play in the construction of this temple. And in the main altar there is a fire burning, and even at like 2-3 other places there is a fire that is burning. So this temple was built because the original religion that was followed in Azerbaijan was Zoroastrianism, in which basically people worship fire. And then they had a lot of these fire temples which was eventually destroyed, but a lot of these temples have now been restored, and you can come here and see and experience them for yourselves. Ateshgah word actually means house of fire in Azerbaijani, and they've mentioned that until 19th century natural gas leaked through the rock around the temple. And here they have actually given a timeline of the evolution starting from 300 million years ago, where this was the land of fire, and then the first inhabitants 20,000 years ago. And they have also mentioned about Hinduism, which was in 1500 BC, then Zoroastrianism, where fire used to be worshipped, and then the Silk Road in the 2nd century, and the first Ateshgah temple was created in 2nd century. And in 19th century the oil industry came to Azerbaijan, and then they have the 21st century, which is the Ateshgah of today. They're also talking about the Indian fire worshipping, and they say that not much is known about the arrival of Hindu worshippers to the Ateshgah. This temple was of particular importance for Indians worshipping Shiva and Ganesha. On top of this cell, we actually have a Sanskrit shloka, so we can see Shri Ganpataye Namaha and Shri Ramji. So a lot of inscriptions here are written in Indian languages, and this is one of the major inscriptions that you'll find here. In this area, which is probably the oldest part of Ateshgah, we actually have the chanting of Om Gan Ganpataye Namaha, which is coming from here. So I hope you all can hear it. We actually have Ganpati Bappa, our very own Ganpati Bappa, and people have put a few coins in front of him as a mode of worshipping him. So Ganpati Bappa here and the chanting of Om Gan Ganpataye Namaha in the other cell. So definitely plan a visit to Ateshgah. It's so incredible that coming to Azerbaijan and you're hearing and reading and seeing things about our Indian culture and tradition. We are inside the main temple or the main altar, and there is a fire that is blazing over here as well, and surrounding this very altar are the 24 cells. We are at Baku airport, and this marks the end of our trip in Azerbaijan. We are now on our way to another country. This trip that we have planned, we are going to visit 3 countries in which Azerbaijan was our first destination. Today we had a very interesting day as we visited places like Gobustan, the mud volcanoes in Gobustan, had a really fun and adventurous ride till the volcanoes. Then we went to the fire mountains, and of course then Ateshgah fire temple. The airport is like 5 to 7 minutes away from the fire temple, and there are 2 terminals here. When we had landed here in Baku from India, our flight had landed at Terminal 1, and that's like the bigger terminal, and it looked really fancy. But our flight to the next country is from Terminal 2, and this is comparatively smaller. So we are flying Azerbaijan Airlines, and when we were booking the tickets, there was no option to add baggage. So when we came here, we had like 2 bags. He said that we'll have to pay extra for the baggage, about which we were anyways aware. So he said that in case if you guys can fit in all the items such as your liquid and other stuff that is not allowed in hand baggage, then I can allow you to take 1 bag as hand baggage. So in that case, you'll have to pay only for that 1 check-in bag. Then they asked for our visa to this country that we are flying to, and we said that we have US visa, so we don't need like a separate visa for this country. After that, we went for the immigration. The immigration was very smooth. Like they just again asked for our visa for this country, and we again told them that we have a US visa. So that was pretty smooth. They didn't ask any other questions. And once we came to the waiting area around the gates, so there are like 3 to 4 cafes around here from where you can purchase something to eat. There's also a duty-free shop. Now we are going to sign off from the land of fire, Azerbaijan, and very soon I'll also upload a detailed travel guide on Azerbaijan, using which you can plan your trip to this beautiful country. And I would highly recommend that you should plan a trip here. It's so easy to reach here. You don't need like a Schengen visa, just like an e-visa. It's a budget country if you want to experience the European vibes without paying the euros, the expensive euros. So definitely consider adding Azerbaijan to your bucket list. So we'll see you all from a new country very soon. So till then, take care, happy traveling, and see you all.